Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and thank you for stopping by to watch this edition where we're going to discuss what's going on with the Israeli war as well as other news headlines from around the world and here at home. Before I do, a couple of announcements. In about, I think, exactly 1 week, I will be doing an interview with Living Free in Tennessee with Nicole. So, if you have any questions you would like me to ask her, feel free to contact me or drop them here in the comments, and I will be sure to add that to the list of things to ask her. Next is going to be the live stream Q&A on Wednesday. We do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Workshop Wednesday is just a live Q&A where all of us get together, hang out, like-minded people of homesteaders, prepsteaders, preppers, survivalists, bushcraft, just good, good people just coming together, talking, fellowship, hanging out, having a good time. Um, I will, on that live stream, be making the announcement on how and when we are going to do our Christmas giveaway. So if you can, try and stop in to that live stream, and I will make the announcement at the beginning of that live stream. So try not to miss it. Without further ado, I've got a lot of information, so we're just going to jump right into this. Again, in no particular order. I want to start off with the Israeli stuff right off the bat. And there's three quotes that I want to read to you that is going to be from the Israeli defense minister. Now, his first quote is Hezbollah is close to making a grave mistake. The residents of Beirut may end up in the same situation as Gaza, where they are already raising white flags and running away from home. End quote. Now, keep all that in mind. Okay, just put that in the back of the mind of what he said, key words and different things and all that. Let me read you the second quote that he said. What we do in Gaza, we will do in Beirut, and Hezbollah's aggressions is no longer just a provocation. Okay, now we're starting to see the little bit of a trend. He keeps mentioning Beirut. He keeps mentioning, the ongoing events in Gaza right now, and so we're seeing it. Now let's go to the third. If you see that we bombed Beirut, know that Nasrallah has crossed the line. Okay, so again, a third mention of a specific place. So this right here seems to kind of point. Now, either he is trying to issue a warning in a very specific way to try and get the most out of those words, or we're in that weird social media thing right now where we just announce our plans. So I don't know if there's really anybody in the entire world, any country, faction, group, whatever, that has that ability to where they can say, if you do this, we'll do this, and you tell the truth that, look, here's the line, you do it, this is what happens. Because you're giving your enemy exact details, and then they have time to prepare and how to counteract and do different things like that. So, we'll just see. It's just data points. Keep those in mind. All right, let's move on. So the Iranian president has come out and said, now this is a quote, this is not my words, okay? For the one or two people that come and say, I can't believe you said that. Not my words, I'm reading a quote. If the war crimes of the Zionist regime continue and the American administration does not stop waging unequal war, then Islamic countries must help the Palestinian people by arming them to fight the occupation, end quote. All right, there goes that 2A argument right there. You want to control people, you take their arms away. And then when you have unarmed people, now I'm not picking sides, I'm saying in general, okay? If you have a group of unarmed people and there is a conflict in that area, what is one of the first things that somebody comes into the defense saying? We must arm those people. Okay? So, this goes right into here. Every single time that I take and I hear, there needs to be stricter this and stricter that, and we must take this and this and this away and just take everything away. And kind of the whole reason for the Second Amendment there, folks. So even if you personally are uncomfortable, just know having the Second Amendment really keeps a very big amount, a massive amount of things, events, and other things completely off the table because of that. So, a whole different rabbit hole. Maybe we'll do a whole show on that or something. Let's move on. All right, so in Lebanon, a U.S. submarine has been spotted with pictures and videos on social media off the northern coast. Now, this right here is one of those ones to where they wanted to be seen. So that's a power play in my book. You have a submarine, you went right up to where you could be seen, and you made yourself seen. If they didn't want to be seen, nobody would even know that they're there. Okay, so they wanted to be seen. So again, data point, interesting. Keep it in mind. Now we already knew submarines were there anyway, but now we have a confirmation. Let's see. So Israel publishes a warning on its official government website, warning of Iranian hacker groups of planning a wiper campaign. Now, according to them, when I was doing my research, a wiper campaign is basically where they get into different businesses, governments, military, whatever websites they can get into, and they wipe it. They just delete files and just go in and wipe everything out. So, apparently, in the articles I was reading, there is Israeli intelligence that says that there's just these hacker groups that are going after it. Now, one of the other things I saw is that the amount of cyber attacks has increased, exponentially, which, to be fair, we kind of expected that. This is fifth generation warfare. It's a whole new age of warfare. So we've come a long way. So now you're starting to see all the technology stuff coming in. So you're seeing cyber attacks, you're seeing drones, you're seeing, just all the different types of technology coming into play. It's no longer bullets and hand grenades only. Now, those are still very, very relevant, but you can do a lot more damage and destruction and different other things with a click of a mouse. So, all right, let's go around the world a little bit. So, in Australia, protesters on jet skis gathered around a port in Sydney surrounding a cargo ship that was scheduled to transport weapons to Israel. Now, there's videos on this. It's just a protest. It's just hey, we don't want this stuff going there. Now, whether or not you believe in coincidence or not, I'm not sure that they actually needed to go through and do this, because Australia's second largest port operator is now closed due to a major cyber attack. We just talked about cyber attacks, folks. So, sorry, it's early. I've got to have some coffee here. But keep in mind, Australia is a huge island. Therefore, for resources and other commodities and different things like that, they rely heavily on their ports. Yes, you can fly things in, but it's more expensive to fly. You can only fit so much on an airplane. Even if it was a huge airplane, you can only fit so much on an airplane. It costs more to transport it. It's just better to put it on the slow boat. You can fit more on there. It's cheaper. You rely on your port system. So for the second largest one to go down, that's bad. Now they're talking, at best case scenario, several days to get it to where it might be functional. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to let me move over. I want to do a video right here. You guys seem to like this now that I've started doing this again. So take a look at this video right here. This is a massive protest that is took place in London. Look how many people that is. Now we're seeing this all over the place. You're seeing massive protests. Now this is a pro-Palestine um, protest, and we're seeing it all over in just about every major mainstream country. So data point, just keep it in mind. Now there was one outside of, I'm going to change the name, B. Ridden, uh, the guy who does the Oval Office, outside of his home in Delaware. So, it's all over the place. Let's move on. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so again, let me move over. Look at this one. This one's a little interesting. So look at this video. This is a lion roaming the streets in Rome. Apparently, this escaped from a circus, and relax, it's been tranquilized and returned back to the circus. This brings up a very interesting kind of a prepping thing. So I wanted to mention it here, and I'm probably going to do a whole video on this because that's an interesting topic. So data point, more information to come on that one. Now, we have we said this yesterday, day before, something like that. The Chinese president Xi Jinping is scheduled to make a visit to hold a talks with the president in the city of San Francisco. Now, San Francisco decided, and I'm going to show, let me move over. I'm going to show two different pictures here. And it's just the same spot, but it's just a this way view and a that way view. So the city of San Francisco apparently decided to take it upon themselves that since, the president of China is coming, maybe we should clean up a little bit. So in those pictures, I want you to notice, take a look at them. Look, not only there's no homeless people, not only that you notice the really big barricades and fencing and everything that's up, notice how clean everything is. Like they went through and scrubbed and power washed, and windows are pristine, they're all fixed. All the sidewalks are power washed, the streets are all power washed. Like they went all out. So yeah, for the past however many years, you can have just a big pile of filth and disease. But since the president of China is coming, we should probably clean this up for a weekend. So it'll be interesting. Look at those pictures that I just put over here. Keep those in mind, and maybe we'll revisit that in about, I don't know, a couple weeks, month, and we'll see. We'll do maybe a side-by-side comparison to see what it looks like after he left, if they just let it go back, or maybe this will be that step of, we should probably make it look like this more often. So now, speaking of Xi Jinping coming, this is, by White House definition, going to be a tough dialogue between the two leaders. Now, the tough dialogue is supposed to be about Iranian nuclear capabilities, how close they are, the conflict that's going on, and Iranian presence in it. And I tell you, it's one of those ones. In my opinion, okay, and you can disagree with me if you want. In my opinion, the last time that we could probably have tough talks with China was probably back in like '85 with Reagan. Okay, yeah, I know there's probably some other people that's going to disagree, going, no, well, there's this guy. Well, kind of. The only thing is, though, is back in '85 we had more of a power and influence than probably who somebody more recently that somebody would say, well, this guy, we've had 20, 30 years of of China getting a little bit more power, a little bit more influence, building their military. So, just my opinion, just my thoughts. Now, one interesting thing, and this goes hand in hand with China, and we'll end on this. So, the interesting part is that yesterday, on the 11th, there was an agreement signed in Iraq that ExxonMobil will exit and PetroChina will become the lead contractor in the oil fields. Now, that's extremely interesting. Um, I have read various reports on ExxonMobil completely exiting out and kind of a forced exit out of Iraq. And then I read that they basically just got moved to a really small oil field to finish out some contracts and then they're going to exit. So either way, they're either fully exiting or on their way out to completely exit in the near future. But here it goes. China is going to become the lead contractor and control of major oil fields over in the Middle East. Fair warning, tinfoil hat time. Is this maybe the real reason why we have so many aircraft carriers and stuff over there right now? Is some of this other stuff going on actually just kind of a disguise? Or is this just a convenient coincidence that this little tiny news story that China's taken over all the oil fields, that I really haven't seen anything. Now, granted, yeah, the news kind of broke yesterday, but I haven't really seen anybody cover it yet. I'll take another look. I was up earlier this morning glancing through, and I haven't seen anybody post anything about it yet. So maybe I'm being unfair, and we'll give them time. Maybe they'll say it, the noon o'clock or later this evening. Data points, okay? Just data points. Just throwing some stuff out there, and we'll see what happens with it. So, other than that, hey, coffee time with Rural. I'm glad you guys stopped in and hung out with me and watched this. If you made it this far in this video, congratulations and thank you very much. Honestly, thank you. You guys are awesome. I get so much love and support from you guys every day. Yeah, I get a troll every once in a while, but what's the world without a troll? It needs to keep spinning, right? So I think I got another video that's going to come out noon-ish or so Eastern Standard Time. It's another Pew Pew review. Hope you guys enjoy that. I get a lot of really good comments about that. If there's any other things that you want me to do, if you want me to do some product reviews, interviews, going back and doing some more basic prepper stuff, I actually got somebody that was a recent subscriber that said, hey, I went back and watched some of your really early stuff and, you gained a lot of subscribers within the past week or so. And they probably won't go back and rewatch, your old stuff. So they made the suggestion of maybe I should take some of that and make it now that I've got a whole bunch of new subscribers, which isn't a bad idea. So you might see some of my stuff. If you've hung with me for quite a while, you might see me revisit some of those topics. So with that, thank you again. Can't do it without you guys. So God bless each and every one of you. I do it just for you guys. So more information to come. Remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.